Abercrombie's viral denim sale is back, and Spotify listeners get an extra 15% off with code SpotifyAF. Abercrombie is known for their denim. With 30 to 50% off all jeans, find out how denim should feel. Shop the viral denim sale in the Abercrombie app, online, or in stores. Valid in stores and online through August 11th, 2025 in US and Canada. Excludes clearance, price reflects discount. Code valid in US and Canada through August 11th, 2025. Exclusions apply. See details online.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
It's another Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily, and I'm Dr. Neal Malik. Welcome back to another Friday show where I answer your questions. On all the other days, I read health and fitness blogs to you like an audiobook, with permission from the authors, of course. Now, I'll let you know how you can send in your own question at the end of the show and get rewarded for it, but for now, let's hear today's question and start optimizing your life. Today's question came via email. Zakyia writes, "Do we really need as much protein as the fitness gurus say?" Thank you for taking the time to send in your questions, Zakyia. Now, it seems everyone is a fitness expert or fitness guru these days. Some definitely are, others not so much. And knowing the difference between a fitness expert and someone that's not can be tricky. It can be easy to make judgments about someone's fitness expertise based on how they look, for example. I'll use my psychic abilities, though, and go out on a limb by saying, chances are you're probably already consuming enough protein. How could I possibly know this? This is because there have been a lot of data collected on how much and what types of food populations around the world consume regularly. And what we've learned is that most consume plenty of protein each day. So, let's do some math. Let's say we have a relatively active adult that regularly incorporates resistance training into their routine. The American College of Sports Medicine says that this person needs to consume between 1.2 and 1.7 grams of protein per kilogram body weight. Now, it's frustrating for those of us in the US because these recommendations don't use ounces of protein in pounds of body weight. But luckily, the math isn't too hard. Now, let's figure this out together. Stay with me here. Let's say this person weighs 125 pounds. To use the American College of Sports Medicine's recommendations, we need to convert their body weight into kilograms. Luckily, that math is really simple. Take 125 pounds and divide that by 2.2. Now, even if someone doesn't weigh 125 pounds, they would still divide their body weight by 2.2. So, if someone weighed 150 pounds, divide 150 by 2.2. If someone weighs 110 pounds, same thing. Divide 110 by 2.2. That gives us weight in kilograms. So, going back to the example, say someone weighs 125 pounds, is relatively active, and regularly incorporates resistance training into their routine. We would use the 1.2 to 1.7 grams of protein per kilogram body weight recommendation. But in order to do that, we have to take their 125 pounds and convert it to kilograms, which we said is 125, divide that by 2.2, which equals 56.82 kilograms. So now what? Now that we know this, we can figure out how much protein they need to consume each day. So again, the American College of Sports Medicine says 1.2 to 1.7 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. We know our hypothetical body weight in kilograms. We just figured that out. It's 56.82. So we take 56.82 or 57 and multiply it by the American College of Sports Medicine's recommendations. So we'll start by multiplying 56.82, remember that's body weight in kilograms, by the lower end of the recommendation, 1.2 grams of protein. Let's plug that into our calculators and we'll get 68 grams of protein. That means, at a minimum, this hypothetical person that's relatively active and regularly incorporates resistance training into their routine and weighs 125 pounds needs to consume about 68 grams of protein each day to continue to build strength and muscle. Let's find out how much we would need to consume at a maximum according to these recommendations. We're going to take that body weight in kilograms we calculated, 56.82, and multiply that by the higher end of the recommendation, 1.7. Remember, the American College of Sports Medicine's recommendations for protein was 1.2 to 1.7 grams of protein each day. So now we're using that higher number here, 1.7. So 56.82 times 1.7 equals 97 grams of protein. So again, for someone that weighs 125 pounds and wants to be sure they're getting enough protein to support muscle growth, they need to consume anywhere between 68 and 97 grams of protein per day. Now, for those of us in the States, we still don't know quite how to make sense of grams, so bear with us. Imagine a cooked, boneless piece of chicken that fits in the size of your palm. That would be about 3.5 ounces of cooked chicken. This amount of chicken contains about 32 grams of protein. So, for someone that weighs 125 pounds, if they ate 2 cooked chicken pieces about the size of their palm, or about 7 total ounces each day, they would be pretty close to getting their minimum protein needs for the day. That's not very much, right? Plus, this amount of protein doesn't include any they may be getting from other sources like eggs, meat, dairy, beans, soy, even breads. So, sadly, I'm not really psychic. I just know that most people get way more protein than that each day. Now, the International Society of Sports Nutrition says a range of 1.4 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram body weight per day should be the goal. But if we really think about it, this isn't that far from the American College of Sports Medicine's recommendations. So the only modification we really need to make is to bump up the protein to about 2 grams per day. So for a 125-pound person, 2 grams of protein per kilogram body weight each day would be about 114 grams of protein each day, which is just a bit more than the 1.7 grams we talked about earlier, which was 97 grams of protein each day. So what we could safely say is 68 to 114 grams of protein each day would probably be enough. Now, there are some newer studies that are finding that even higher protein intakes for elite athletes at around 3 grams per kilogram body weight may be helpful. But again, this isn't recommended for the average gym goer. We're talking elite athletes here. So what's the bottom line? First, getting enough protein is important for a number of reasons, but not just for muscle building. But most people are probably consuming enough protein each day as it is. So if a fitness guru says someone should be eating more protein each day, we need to remember that getting too much protein is probably going to get excreted by the body. And sometimes that extra protein can get converted to fat. And even worse, there are some studies that have found getting too much protein increases the risk of death from all causes. That means getting too much protein for years and years can increase the risk of death from heart attack, stroke, and even cancer. Now, when it comes to sources of protein, the International Society of Sports Nutrition recommends we focus on whole food sources of protein rather than supplements. And we can't forget about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates help our bodies absorb protein more efficiently. And lastly, you didn't ask about this, Zakyia, but just in case you're wondering, what about protein timing? Do we have to eat protein and carbohydrate immediately after a workout? There are some studies that have found that total protein consumption throughout the day may be most important when it comes to muscle growth. So, if someone can't eat protein and carbs immediately after their strength training workout, that's usually okay, just so long as they're getting enough protein in throughout the rest of the day.
Oikos presents 15 Seconds of Strength.
Here we go. Steve's got a trunk full of groceries and no one to help him.
Oh, that's tough, Jim. Looks like a 5-trip load at least.
He grabs the first bag, the second. Bob, it looks like he's trying to do it all in one trip. He shimmies the door open, steps over the dog, and he stumbles.
Oh, right into the kitchen without missing a beat. Jim, now that's a man who eats his protein-packed Oikos.
With 15 grams of complete protein in each cup, Oikos Triple Zero can help build strength for every day. Oikos, stronger makes everything better.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job posts seen on other job sites. Indeed's Sponsored Jobs helps you stand out and hire fast. With Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. When I've hired in the past, the process was slow and overwhelming. I wish I had used Indeed. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need. Thank you again for taking the time to send in your questions, Zakyia. Now, if you want to send your questions in and get a copy of our Optimal Living Daily Workbook for doing so, you can email them to health@oldpodcast.com. That's health@oldpodcast.com. Or if you want your voice played on the show, just come by oldpodcast.com/ask. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way and call in your question. The number is 161-I-LOVE-OHD. That's 1-614-568-3643. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. Answering them is my favorite part of the show. All right, that'll do it for another Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily. Thank you so much for listening every day and all the way through. I hope you have a great start to your weekend, and I'll see you back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.